Good morning, everyone. I'm Tassenix, and welcome to Season 73, 5 vs 5 Grand Arena Championship, Week 1, Round 2. My opponent is Arsenal416. We've fought him many times. We've had him as our featured guest on the Plotting and Scheming podcast a good handful of times. Probably our most frequent return guest. But he's a stalwart of the upper reaches here, and it's always a pleasure to fight him, so good times. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. Good morning, everyone. Swugga Player, hi Taz. Good to Sprizzle, good luck, good luck. Darcelea, morning task, good luck today, appreciate it. Ganroth, hey all. Nashorn, hello. Aragon says, morning and thanks for the info last night around, or last whatever, around Bane. That led to a 20-54 and a first round win. Nice job, man. Glad it could be helpful. Sheepdog, good luck. Hope you do better than me. 0-2. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah. We won round 1, so far so good. Tim, good morning task. Got my piping hot coffee in hand, sweetened to taste, and ready to watch you attempt to decimate Arsenal. Good luck in Grand Arena today. Wolfman, morning task, and good luck. Appreciate it, guys. Good to see you, man. Calidus, hey, Shake, hey, Vin, what's going on, man? All right, guys, you know the drill here. Let's get underway. So, rank 12 fighting rank 13. If you missed the last episode, there were so many Erodiums that were dropped in from the top from the Erodium bug that it's literally just Sasha, Aisha, and 7 Erodiums in the top bracket. There's a whole, everybody else in my, there's 2 Erodiums in my bracket, the next bracket down. Everybody else is like real competitors. So, wild times, but here we are. So yes, rank 12, fighting rank 13. My 16.6 million GP up against his 16.3. Top 80 GP, my 3.24 million to his 3.21. Zetas, we both have 431. Grand Arena Omicrons both have 88. Top 80 average speed. Dead Nuts tied at 168. How about that? Mod analysis, plus 25 speeds, my 317 to his 367. 20 to 24 speeds, my 622 to his 835. Plus 20 speeds, my 939 to his 1202. Plus 4% offense mods, my 299 to his 258. Plus 6% offense mods, my 110 to his 116. Defense secondaries for plus 9%, my 170 to his 120. And for plus 14% defense secondaries, I have 52 to his 22. Nice. The defense farming continues to pay off. All right. Relic analysis. Total levels. My 2628 to his 2549. Relic 9s. My 180 to his 128. Relic 8s. My 115 to his 151. Oh, shit. I forgot to put up the prediction. Rookie move. What are we gonna say? First week of the season, I feel like you guys aren't gonna be too mad at me if I spot myself 2 or less, 3 or more. How's that sound? Oh yeah, see, people reminding me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Alright. And I see your your hydrate sheepdog. I could use it. Back to it. So yeah, Relic 7s, I have 12 to his 27. We both have pretty high end roster. Datacron analysis, total rerolls. My 314 to his 493. Man went hard. Okay, level 9 Datacrons. My 55 to his 66. 6 to 8s. I have 2, he has 0. And 3 to 5s. I have 6, he has 2. Galactic Legends. Jumps out at me. Everything looks fairly proper. Very fast, Baylan. Very fast, Baylan. That's gotta be another damn protection primary. Yeah. There's no way. No, he just must have like straight redonkulate. protection secondaries on a couple of them. No way. Is there a way? Is it possible to be that fast without a speed arrow? That's got Lesra. All right, everything looks pretty regular here. Like the 100k health on Malicos. I tried to keep that, but I wasn't going to get up and over 13,000 offense if I was trying to pinch for that extra 4,000 health. So here we are. All right, let's take a look at the Omega Bot report. So this is pulled for his last 5 vs. 5 season. Datacron meta has changed, so we'll just try to infer the level of difficulty of defense he likes to set as a pattern. We know that the teams won't be the same. As far as attack times, whenever. He doesn't mind going early, but he'll do whatever whenever, I guess. I know he's American, so this is sleep time here in the middle. That makes sense. All right. As far as mods go, holy crap. It really looks like, for having the same top 80 average speed, this is crazy that he has this many more speed mods than me. It's one of the most dramatic gaps I think I see out here. All right, yeah, we both have all the Omicrons. And then last season, okay, this is probably too many 69s to not have an Erodium. But yeah, he's classically, he likes a good mud wrestle. He's going to set teams that he thinks is going to trip you up, and that might leave him where he only has so many options if something goes wrong on attack. But he's willing to take that risk. That is him. He's Canadian. Not all folks in our neck. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, he's on. Well, all right. Fine. It's this is my bad. This is my bad. This is my bad, Arsenal. When you see this VOD later, this is my bad. I don't put that evil on you. Sorry. All right. Anyway, you can't read too much into this other than the fact that despite having certainly at least one Erodium last season, he still had a pretty good number of drops, suggesting he's willing to set a pretty good defense. Let's have a look. Sith Eternal. Wow. So, 9 rounds in a season? So it looks like 2 rounds of the season, nobody attacked. So probably 2 Erodiums. Otherwise, Sith Eternal was down. Then it was Jabba, Lord Vader, Fugitive Omega, Jedi Master Mace, Slacker, Rey Swolo, Ahsoka with Ezra, Aphra, Pirate King Hondo, JML, Thano, Baylan, Riva. Yeah, maybe it's Rey, Ezra, something like that. Executor, Leviathan, Malevolence. So he mixed it up at least once last season. That's kind of cool. As far as what you might expect to see, defense by zone. Lord Vader, bottom front. Fugitive Omega. What? Rey. And Riva? Something like that, if I had to guess. Yes, it is a while since we fought Arsenal, isn't it, Hera? If you guys remember, it had to have been earlier this year. Something like that. It feels like it's been a long enough time ago. But it was, like every week we were fighting Arsenal. It was him and a couple other, 1 or 2 other guys. It was like, yeah, it's our weekly appointment with Arsenal, our weekly appointment with so-and-so. But yeah, it's, we don't see Arsenal too terribly often. So it's good to catch up. All right, offense. He was using Bo-Katan, Bane, Wampa, Gungans, JMK, Great Mothers, Queen Amidala, CLS, Malgus, Finn, Cere Malicos Starkiller, Leia, and Riva. Then, might mix it up. Might have to do what he needs to do to get through. Good number of drops. You can see all of these things that are not shades of green are some kind of bad outcome. Drop, withdraw. I guess the purple, the pink ones here are timeout. So tough fights. What he's using on offense, Profundity, Negotiator, Leviathan. Now, this is last 5 vs. 5, so as far as how this relates to today's fleet meta, Stone Age. I don't know. Ray Swallow Cap. That's what he dropped on last season. He dropped on a Tarful, a crew team. That was a crew Dre, I think. Slacker, Saw with Krex, JML, a Sith Eternal, and Ahsoka with Ezra. Leia, Krex, Jabba, Pirate King, Reva, Lord Vader, and Jedi Master Mace. All these could have been likely suspects last 5 vs. 5. Chimera he dropped on. Interesting. Chimera 5 means... Oh, that must have been like a 5-star Chimera, and that was like an Erodium, and he was messing around trying to see if he could do it with just one ship. I have attempted to stunt in this manner against Erodiums, and also lost the fight. So, that's my guess, if I read that right. Executrix, yeah. Something could go wrong. Alright. Catch up with the chat. All right. Pull this back up. Where are we at with the prediction? It says 2 minutes remaining. I'll give you guys another, 30 seconds here until it says 1 minute 30. And then we'll cut off the vote. What do you think it's going to be? 2 or less drops or 3 or more? Wager your points. Redeem such things as roster reviews, character reviews, forcing me to fetch my cat and showcase her on stream. By the way, longtime fans of the stream know about Riker, my other cat, my big white cat with black patches that escaped out the front door about a month ago. And I feared the worst because, not really seen him. But neighbor kids knocked on our door the other day and said that they saw him not far from the house here. We've got food out to lure him. We will keep our eye out. But he has been seen. There has been a Riker sighting. I knew he was going to make it out there because he spent the first 1.5 years of his life as a barn cat. So he has his claws. He has his teeth. He is the danger. All right. Cut off the voting. All right. More even today. I like that. So, still, the majority of you, 54%, went 2 or less. Appreciate that. 46% went 3 or more. All right. Let's see how it turns out. Let's talk about it. All right. Arsenal has full cleared for a 1762. The tax man cometh, and this year's levy was severe. Let's talk about this. Let me pull up the spreadsheet. All right, against Malgus here, 65 banners. Honestly, didn't really like setting Malgus, but I couldn't figure where I was going to miss him. So, freebie, I guess. Against Ray, Swallow, Zalbar, Xeris, and OG Cal with my, that's my Raycron with like 96% health, like 4% offense. I couldn't get it to roll away into health. Light side buffs up level 3, long tech Stufu level 6, Ray level 9, and we got a hold. He killed everybody but Ray and Cal, and then cleaned it up for 38 thereafter. So, total of 41. Nice. Against Jabba, Chrysanthemum, Bausch, Embo, and Boba with the Swordicron. So I had that on offense last round. Again, it's nice. It can deal with a couple of things cleanly, but do I actually need it? Not really. I didn't feel like it, so back down we go. And we got a hold. He took out Bausch first. If I had to guess, if you weren't expecting me to set Jabba, and then I caught you off guard with it, and you didn't know whether or not you could afford to use OG Night Sisters because it's up front. Now, you haven't seen the whole board yet. Can you afford to take the risk? Maybe he used JMK. Maybe he just smited out Bausch and then got closed out like I luckily did not just last round. So, wow. Anyway, yeah, he cleaned that up for 44 banners after that. All right. Against Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, Exile Ezra, General Syndulla, Huyang, and Padawan Sabine. 63 banners. All right, fine. Probably Leia. All right, in the back here, so I set Queen Amidala back here. Now, last round I had her wearing the Jawa crown, and the Rolo crown was on Saw. So I moved the Rolo crown. I was on the fence about doing that, but shout out to TJ. TJ said, try it. It's probably the toughest version of the team, and he also advocated, I really wanted to keep Cam in here with Grandmaster because I just like what he's doing for Master Qui-Gon, for Grandmaster. It's good stuff. Armor, another huge source of damage, also doesn't hurt the team. However, Mace did look like the most damning defense against Great Mothers in particular, if he decided to use that. There's a couple other things it gives complication to. But yeah, credit given where credit due. Shout out to TJ on the twist. All that said, he got a 59, and I'll take that, right? I'm not mad about that. Against Saw, Krex, Luthen, Kyle, and Cere with the Jawacron then. That was 65. Crushed it. Against Fugitive Omega, Mercenary Wrecker, Mercenary Hunter, Crosshair, and Original Omega. That was 65. Just brooded it with a GL, probably? I don't know. Alright, top side. Against Great Mothers with Morgan, Night Trooper, DTP, and Marin. 63. Against Full Gungans. I changed the Kron this time. I had a 25% turn meter light side with high crit damage, round 1. This time it's the light side turn meter to the weakest, level 3, with high crit damage, offense, and armor penetration. Just like really great physical damage stats. And offense boosting the true damage from boss net. Anyway, 65 banners. Pirate King Hondo, OG Hondo, Silvo, Brutus, Vane, with the Long Text Pirate, level 6, Bulk level 3, OG Hondo, level 9. That was 59 banners. Now dig this. CLS was something, CLS with the Rolo Crown was something that that Arsenal was doing last season. But I don't think he did it here because I believe we'll see. He's got it down with his Saw team on defense. So, curious. He risks Cere Malicos here? Or was it actually somehow an adverse outcome? Like a kind of somewhat suspect outcome with Slacker? We'll have to find out later. He and I usually trade notes after the match. Jedi Master Mace, Jocasta, Depa, Ayla, Temple Guard. 63 banners. Alright, and what is that total? I had this written down. Yeah, he had a 1353 total on ground. So I mathed that out earlier. 59.36 banner average. So we've got some room. A little bit of room. Don't want to take too much. Because, yeah, we still have to talk about the fleet here. Now check this out. Big shout out to Arsenal because I saw that a couple of his opponents last 3 versus 3. And if you're scouting to see what your opponents are doing in fleet, you really need to look at just what is the most recent data you can see. And for us here in the first week of 5 vs 5, that will be the last week of the previous 3 vs 3 season. And he was throwing down this Home 1 team that has Han's Millennium Falcon as a reinforcement. So the AI is going to call in B-Wing, and then the priority of Han is going to come in next. Han's reinforcement is something you're not usually thinking about, but it is going to give all Rebel allies foresight. It's going to call a mass assist on target enemy from all Rebels. And it also decreases the cooldowns of all the reinforcement abilities of the capital ship by 1. So it can apply a lot of pressure, and as it turns out, it can beat things like Executor. It can throw a wrinkle in some of the stuff that you're used to doing against this team. So shout out to him. I saw it, and I'm expecting that he has that on defense for me to fight. I was actually kind of worried, thinking about what's the way to split this. So with what I expected him to set, I don't know that there was something that I could just... saving triple meta didn't look like it was going to save me for this whole... You know what I'm saying? It looked a little more complicated. So I decided to steal his home 1, set Executor, because you're only going to be able to Profundity 1 of these, and then, Executrix, which I do strip banners off people a lot of the time. Sometimes I even get a hold. As far as the scores go, he got a 69 on home 1. So whatever he did, he made it, but again, good bite there. Executrix was another 69. Double the 69, double the nice. And then against Executor, we actually got a hold. He got 5 banners on the first go. It looks like only Houndstooth and Razorcrest survived, and then he cleaned it up for a 47. So what is that? Total of 52? Nice. Very, very nice. And that's how we got to 1762. How much did he score on Pirate King? He got a 59 shake. Hey, Sinfrio, good to see you. Hey, Cosley. RV, yo, bro, where did you get that Stormtrooper Fez from? Great question. Yeah. Look up on, what is it? Is it Etsy? I want to say look up on Etsy.com. The Blonde, Blonde, Blonde Swan. Because they made this hat. They make this. They make also a couple of other things Star Wars related. They sent me this and offered me a discount to actually buy this, but I don't think I really personally like it, but I do acknowledge it. It actually looks sharp. They make a Boba Fett Fez. Like, they sent me this pin of the Fez, right? So it's a pin. It's cool. And they actually do sell this Fez. They sell this Stormtrooper Fez. They probably have a pin for this, for the Fez I have. But check out their shop, man. It was cool. It was cool. Ben Grogu asks, is the Rey level 9 greater than the Ben level 9, or does it vary with Omicron Zalbar and Exile Ezra? The thing about Rey is that I'm trying to put any little wrinkle in there that I can. It all depends on what I think you're going to do. I think that going with the Rey level 9 is maybe better if your opponent reliably enjoys Cere as their Rey count. Because I think that can add a good bit of pressure onto Cere. Otherwise, and it's not that Ben level 9 would be bad against Cere. I just think, the frequency of Rey ult is super inconvenient for Cere. In particular. Like, you need to do what you need to do when you need to do it. Like, you don't need to have Malicos's turn come up just before Rey comes out of ultimate, and then you have to burn your turn doing no damage. You might ramp your offense a bit, but otherwise you're just waiting, and then she'll be back in that ultimate. The 2 turns go by. On that second turn, she goes into ultimate again. Something like that, right? It's going to be quick. Yeah. Oh, yeah? This, you're Turkish, it would absolutely fit you? Yeah, this was a hat that my community voted for me to get. I enjoy wearing hats. And yes, I'm glad you like it, man. Go for it. Botina says, Botina? That's probably the way. Says, greetings from Brazil. Good to see you. Wow. It's awesome. Speaking of this, a diverse worldwide audience, it's so awesome that when you look at the metrics, when I'm looking at the metrics for plotting and scheming and seeing like who's the audience, who's watching, from where, and stuff like that, every continent that isn't ice and penguins actually has somebody watching the show. People in what is it? Madagascar, Singapore, Brazil here, all over. You're really awesome. Really great to have you guys tuning in. So cool. All right. Yeah, actually, yeah. Everywhere. All right, so that's the defense, top side for Arsenal's defense. He's got Finn, Resistance Hero Finn, Zori, Rose, Resistance Hero Poe, with the Zorikron. I'll try not to drop on that today. Yay! All right, Saw, Luthen, Kyle, Krex, Cere, with the aforementioned Rolocron. So he didn't do CLS versus Pirate King. It was, my guess is either it was Slacker gone rough, or he was bold, daring, and went for a CLS. Or sorry, not CLS, Cere Malicos. Something like that. Paratran, when was the last time you used the Harlequin hat on stream? I usually only put it on now for special occasions, because this is the original hat that I launched the channel with. You can see it's in my logo and everything. However, it is fleece. And it is fragile, and it's also a gift that, if you know where this hat is from, it's from the character Shaco in League of Legends, and the voice actor for that character, his name's Adam Harrington. This is a hat autographed by Adam Harrington on the side, and the signature started to fade because of the frequency of me just handling the hat. So it's like, you know, we'll still keep it on display, but that is why I refer to it as the hat emeritus now. It is mostly retired. I will bust it out for the certain special occasion. But yeah, otherwise I try and keep it to a minimum. Oh, wow. I have a religious listener from small Bulgaria. Wow. Good to see you, Ive. Ivelo Mujev. I probably butchered that 6 ways. Tim, hats off. Good to see you again, Tim. Always a pleasure to have you watch. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this one started here in a minute. But thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just Evo. Okay. Yeah. Calidus, yeah, you do have penguins. You know what I meant, like a place that's only penguins, right? Only penguins and the occasional researcher, right? That's what I mean. Surely us flopping 2-footer ice hobbits can enjoy from the zoo, too. It is cold where you are. I concede that. But yeah, good to see you, Calidus. Hop on in, chat with us in the patron chat sometime, man. I know that you're less available than you used to be, but you can chat sometime. We'll catch up. All right. So yeah, Saw, Rolo, JMM, Jocasta, Depa, Ayla, Temple Guard with the Kixkron. Interesting. Aphra, BT1, 000, Orlom and Zucka. How curious. With the Swordy-Kron. Paratran, yeah, what are you worried about? What are we before the grace of Godding about? The Forlom Zuckus is intimidating here? Is that what we're saying? Let me turn off the camera so you can see the teams, actually, yeah. Yeah, no worries, Calidus. Get in where you can. Oh, yeah, the Saw Rolo? Yes. Yes, Hera, yes. It is going to be interesting. I'm thinking, though, doesn't Baylan still handle this? Because I'm pretty sure Baylan was handling this last season, and I feel like we have better... Well, I mean, we don't have defense, I guess, but we have, like, better crons overall. What do you guys think about that? Because I'm typically using Reva here, but as you're going to see bottom front, I might have a different need for Reva. All right. Next is... yeah, we've already finished. All right. Bottom front, Pirate King Hondo, Bane, Brutus, Silvo, OG Hondo with HondoCon. What do we got here? Bulk level 3, long text level 6, Hondo 9, 118% armor pen, 41% added health, 43% crit damage. This is a nasty profile. Okay, Maz, Ithano, Quiggle, Kix, and SM33 Dig this. Not the kick scrub, right? This is a long text pirate level 6 with dark side buffs up level 3. Let me tell you, this could be bad. This is why I feel like Riva would be good here. Maybe Baylan could also be good here, but I feel like Baylan, there's less forgiveness baked into Baylan than there is for Riva, and I don't know that I want the smoke, because this is a lot of smoke. 18% protection, over 100% crit damage, 36% potency. Not great. Madman20 just followed the channel. Appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. All right. Yeah, Banjo was also getting a lot of holds with it. Saw Rolo. I mean, it single-handedly... well, I don't know that it single-handedly won my round last round, but my Rockstar, my opponent last round, was not able to clear the Saw Rolo in the back, so I'm not here to naysay it. What I am saying is Arsenal is a clever opponent, and he will have seen that I have employed Saw Rolo. So I expect that he would have been prepared for it. And that's why I thought I ended up agreeing with TJ's suggestion and deciding to rotate that Cron. Anyways, this looks nasty, and I want to say JML could still work, but there's like any number of places to use JML, so I just want to use JML where it's going to be the most of a sure thing. I know that that will absolutely be something like Jedi Master Mace up top. And if I don't play it like a complete oaf, I could use it against Finn Zori. I failed that last round because I goofed. All right, against his next team, let's see. He got Traya, Savage, Nihilus, OG, Kylo, and then Red. What do we got here? Bulk level 3. Whenever a First Order ally has full health and protection at the start of their turn, they deal 100% more damage on their turn. And then the level 9 for OG Kylo. Whenever another ally uses an ability on their turn, Kylo Ren assists, limit once per turn, dealing 50% more damage, with a casual 160% armor penetration and 98% crit damage. Nice. I'm still kind of feeling Sith Eternal to this, but it's going to be something like C-Watt GBA. Since we do have some holds, so I mean, I could choose to bleed out a lot and take something like set and armor as well. Like make damn sure. That is an option. I'll think about it. And then of course, Lord Vader, Oppo, CX2, DCT, and Scorch. So there may well be Malgus in the back, stuff like this. We talked about this in Plotting and Scheming. Now that Maz is part of the game, a lot of people, at least at this point in time, myself included, are saving Maz with the idea that you're probably not setting any type of Sith. A lot of us, especially here at the high end, are fond of setting Lord Vader. Some of us, not me, but people like Arsenal, like enjoy setting Sith Eternal. All punished, just completely destroyed by Maz. Not even close. So the idea is that in a world where you're expecting people to hold on to their Maz, do you set no Sith or do you set all the Sith? Anyway. That said, let's go ahead and set up and do what I am hoping is still going to be kind of a freebie. Did I do it this way? Did I bring you or did I bring Nest? I don't think I brought. I'm gonna be, I think. Could always use him with Aphra. Anyway. Yeah, actually his ability to just put hurt down will make use. I want to say the only thing I did last round was open up with a Thanos second special, and that pretty much won the fight. There. Scribe tried this and ended up with just Maz and a Thano left. Yeah, I just did this last round if you hadn't seen it. So, yeah. It should be okay, but I'm still checking my homework. Okay. Do you find the Kixcron better or the Wordy level 6? The level 6 is probably strictly more powerful from the new pirate set. Hey, stop that. Hey. You guys are not supposed to take all of the turns. Okay. It doesn't matter because all of you exist, right? Okay. So this is the part that should be fun. Okay, that was less funsies than I had hoped. Yeah. So he's super high health, able to be crit. What's going to happen? Not bad, honestly. I think that they take the opportunity. Yeah, it's not really tough. Boink. That's good, clean fun. That's what that is. Yeah, if you're saying Scribe was still successful on this attack with barely modded characters, I would believe you. Not good. Okay, see here, Quigo. Yeah, man. Kixcron makes this dummy easy because of how much Athano assists and Kix giving a cooldown reduction. Yeah, I like using this Cron. The pirate, as I was saying at the start of the fight before I got distracted by what I was doing, it is probably more powerful, especially because of what it does for Quigold. Making him ramp the way it does is kind of obscene. That being said, the power of the Kixcron is super good. Like, you just saw it. As somebody said, you are getting plenty of punch out of Athano. Cooldown reduction, which I don't know how much you really need that, but it is nice. And furthermore, it's not actually costing me one of those Dark Side Crons, which I would much rather use on some other team of mine. Quigold is a beast, even at low relics. Yes. Yeah, Lord Vader, I'm telling you, there's no Sith that can withstand Maz. So you might go the way that Arsenal did here, because if I end up choking here on Maz, you can't say that it's bad on defense, but that's really one of the most, that's one of the newest considerations that we have at this point in the meta, at this top-end meta. Where do you think the opponent's going to use Maz? And how do you want to set your board accordingly? All right, we already know what I'm doing here, yeah? Where you at? Okay. Hey, Rebel. What's going on? Good to see you. I wonder if Maz will be the answer to the stranger when he's out. Assuming that you can access him, yeah. Assuming that there isn't something that's going to force you to not hit him, he's still going to be Sith. And you saw that the clones maybe didn't go down as easily as Lord Vader himself did. And that's just because he's Sith. He gets destroyed for that. So the rest of your Starkiller team with Stranger is not going to be Sith. So, I don't know. Like, I think you kill the magic, though, of the Starkiller bonus for having everybody just as soon as one of the characters is dead, right? Maybe the fight's already won if you just get to freebie destroy Stranger. I could see it. Yeah, Vin, Maz is an absolute banger on defense. I could absolutely see that. You have to plan for it. It's not a nobody team. 8 waves of teddy bears. I have no idea what that means, Rebel. I hope you survived. Yeah, they'll have Fracture, insta-kill. Yeah. If the Fracture goes on Maz, it's cooked. Yeah, we'll have to see. Really can't say. All right, here we go. Just going to go for like the double stun on the attackers and pull the fight from there. If we're lucky, Hondo won't increase Slacker. It looks like he didn't, so we'll take the money. Well, hello there. Yes, so I saved the lightning for much later in the fight. That was first ult already. Come on. They're all full. Nice. You were supposed to be dead. That is horseshit. You were stunned. And you died. You cannot come back because the FOSS, the FOSF Tron said so. I'm so mad. I've been cheated. I'd rather keep you stunned if it's all the same. This son of a bitch. Look at this. Well, I can't very well gain charge of anything, so I guess I'm stunning you now, Silvo. Everyone can get it. Finish Silvo. Get his effects off the board. I think you can be stunned at a certain point. Apparently we're at that point. Bastard. Maybe this? No. Play it straight. We get an assist here? Yeah, we do. Okay, he didn't dodge that. So we'll take that. 65 on the note. Absolute best case scenario. Oh, the assault battle. CT3. Nice. Nice job, Rebel. Good job getting through that. What was the level 6 on my cron for the FOSF? That's the long text. The one where you're starting with DI. And it's buffs up level 3. Okay. So, successful there. Gotta be careful here. Reading over the kit. So if we use a Galactic Legend at all, that's a big leg up. I don't know how big. That's right. Got to remember the instant. Save that later. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the Omicron. Yeah, I saw that later. The Omicron makes the kit work regardless of whether or not that's Galactic Legend enemy. So I don't necessarily have a plan for Baylan, but it's whichever one I think it would be better between Baylan and Reva. My guess would be Reva. We have some cleanse going on in this team. What's the... I mean, so they are less bulky. They're gonna hit like a truck, though. Better suited for such a job. I feel like it would be Reva. It doesn't have to be a 65 shake. What it needs to be is a sure thing. We've had some holds. Defense was pretty successful. Great Mothers is on defense. Sorry. Not today. Tass, off topic, asks Rearrook99, what primary do you recommend for a tenacity and potency set triangles? Entirely depends on the character. I think for a lot of characters, like, for example, Aphra and JML both can make very effective use of a protection primary. And if you were targeting potency sets, then nice. You could kind of focus, look for that, and then give the better of the two to the GL, give the other one to Aphra, something like that. There are other characters where you could put that in crit damage. I don't know that there's a lot of times where I'm thinking about having a potency set, and then I want the triangle to be health. So probably something like crit damage, protection, maybe even offense. There are a few characters that can even use offense. JJ's. Okay, guys, yeah. Maybe a few of you. I see a couple other folks chiming in, saying, try Great Mothers, try Java, try Queen. Let's talk about that briefly. So, there's Java. There's Queen. And there's Great Mothers. I tried to offer him a fairly challenging beat. Now let's see if I can actually... Anyway, while we mull that over about what to do, I think I am going to set up for Sith Eternal here. Sith Eternal could go elsewhere. If I wasn't going to do this, I mean, I know that Fugitive Omega can get this done, but I don't have them. Binzori can also get this done, but I'm not practiced in it. I do have them. I'd rather not risk the drop. I almost set Trench on defense, but if you're going to set Trench, you want to set Watt. And I just couldn't bring myself to give up Watt in case I actually did need it with Sith Eternal. If you watch me use Sith Eternal last round, absolutely essential that I had the tech. How is this OG Hondo, or sorry, Kylo modded? Trade hell? a decent amount off. Find me? Yeah, stacking. Stacking offense. Cooldown reduction means that he'll spam. But he'll be calling to assist, so that's his basic. But when he gets turns, he's just going to end up. What about Baylan for Maz? He worked well in 3s. That's kind of what I'm mulling over right now, Smegan. Like, I'm open to what you guys have to say, but I personally am thinking either Riva or Baylan. And then whichever one of those I don't use there, I use on Saw Rolo. I think that should work out. Can Finzori work on Maz? I wouldn't know. This is my first time seeing Maz in 5 vs 5. JML, yes, it could work. I've heard of people eating dirt, so that's why I'm shopping the room on that one. Do I want to bring armor GB? Armor set. No incentive to take any kind of risk. One of these will be isolated immediately, then we'll still have tank coverage. Want to save the Darth Vader. I could use like the Iden. That would be fun. Long live the bleed. You just use Ufu against Maz? You mean like Cere Malicos? That's what you're saying? Have to respond. So either one of these is not my favorite. Who is it that must go first? I want to be able. But I think I'll just play it like that. This can go on. You know what? Let's put it on GBA. GBA is the better buy. And don't be greedy. Take the money and run. Okay. But they really beat, didn't they? What you were there for. We appreciate you. Sacrifice is no. Hi. Okay, so the transform, I guess we can do that again that way. Everybody's getting it out here. Well, I'll tell you this much. I feel better and better about the idea of taking everybody that I did. Not really regretting that. Now do things. Ow. Oh, I could have upgraded armor there. Hey. 54. Made it though, didn't we? Yeah, not strictly the worst it could have gone. All right, let me catch back up with the chat. Yeah, you used Ufu against Maz. Cere, Malico, Starkiller, Crew, Maul. I have a long list of what failed. I bet, buddy. Asake says, my off-the-wall idea for Maz was Gas 5's Arc Rex with Watt, giving tank tech on gas. This is no doubt why I'm still in Kyber 3, Rockle. Got to think real carefully about giving up the advantage. The advantage of the full 5 over. Let's see. JKD Mike says, any recommendations for counters against the First Order team you just used? I haven't have found any creators. You mean if you have to fight Slacker on defense? I would probably still save JMK. You can mostly, like, because there's still the set 23 with light side protection up level 3. Oh, you mean the First Order pair on the Traya team? I guess I want to make sure of what you're talking. What was best versus Thaw? Kind of the way. So, virtually any Baylan, rock solid there. That's good to know. Is it the same with Riva? Looks like it. Not as many doing it with parameters I gave. Yeah.
Riva's pretty easy.
Sorry?
Riva is pretty hard 65 players, right?
AML 2. LS there. Really? Gotta be with, yeah, I was about to say, probably would have to bring Rolocron to match. Definitely not gonna use Bane on Maz, yeah? I feel like in 3 vs 3 I did Riva. Gotta commit to something.
I want Riva personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess around. And this team is designed to hit extra hard, and JML's cool and all. I don't know that you can stop the sides from doing meaningful damage, which is what I'm worried about. Getting just closed out on the sides. Oh, you're talking about fighting Slacker. Okay, your JMK got crushed. I would hope that... Here's what I'd say. You say you might have played it wrong. I'm saying I hope you played it wrong. I would say that's a pretty rough spot to be in if JMK is not able to deal with Slacker right now. But I was going to say, like, a light side protection up level 3 with some health, some crit damage on the stat. That's probably what I would go for if I was using JMK. Otherwise, probably still a protection up level 3, but then high protection on the stat, use JML. I've heard people doing JML. Yeah, Kiyoway says, I did use Riva today against Maz for a win. Hey, Kiyoway, I saw you follow the channel the other day. I subscribed back to you. I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed on this channel, but shout out to Kiyoway. You know, one of the first content creators I was watching when I got into the game. How you doing, man? All right. Where's the one I'm looking for? This one. Probably open up with ability.
Knight. You want Knight instead of it now?
Why do I want 9th?
Very wrong. You want to kill them fast.
Yeah, I want to kill them fast. Yes. But why would ninth be part of that?
She deals 3 damage on base 6.
Yes. But the idea would be, 5th AoE, 8th AoE type of thing.
Realistically, they should do that well before Earth gets to take a turn. Is the hope.
So your position. Okay, you did use 9th. If that's the case, guys, would you have me use 9th with this outrageous amount of health on it? Or go with this one with the damage?
I prefer damage because it benefits other people as well that aren't her.
Okay.
Because the assists are really what's going to do the damage, not the mechanics, basically, right?
Of her, yeah, but I don't know how much I need to rely on that. Like, how often is she being called to assist?
I don't know. Decent enough amount. That
I mean, got a couple people supporting your position here, so yeah. Oh, the
also you're still getting more DM. That all the same, and yeah, she has a built-in revive as well, which really shouldn't matter, by the way. The fight doesn't take that long.
Sure. All right. Well, we'll play it your way, guys. Try it that way.
It's obliged.
Yeah. 9th gets called more often than you think. I think you're right about that. I just can't remember where it comes from. I thought I was going to see it there in the 9th mechanic. Anyway, let's have at it. Let us agonize no further. Have to target you. The ability block will take hold regardless. Okay. Cannot hit anyone else. You're already ability blocked. My advantage. Do anything but basic. Kill. Yeah, I saw that true damage do stuff. I see you. Healing immunity. Interesting. We could try to cast. So this is going to hit like a truck. This could. Well, he's ability blocked, so we actually do have the luxury of. Focus. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's too perfect. All right, dispel all this crap. You know what? I take it back. I'm seeing that true damage. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it, guys.
Yeah, and you also probably see the fact that you don't have enough damage otherwise. Like the fight will drag on.
I don't know that I agree with that. But I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, it will drag on longer than I would.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Ah, no. No.
My point.
Don't do that. Okay, that's good. That's bad. Okay. Yes, kill him. All right. It was all according to plan. Yes. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. 57.
Good. Oh. We
made it through. We didn't drop, but it was indeed a bloody affair, yes. Okay. Kind of, the bonus. How will that affect? You're going to be fast. So fast enough to outrun Bane. We've used Sith Eternal, so we don't have, like, just a direct C thing, but this could still be bad, even if I had attempted that. This Kron could provide for quite a bit of damage onto a Sith Eternal. Regardless, let us map the path. Doesn't matter what the Kron is, it's still going to be Leia. Okay, dig this. Ray Jawas.
This is funny.
I have to think about that. think that's Jawa S, Jawa E, and Nebit somewhere, if I had to guess. Nebit. Yep. Oh, it was Scab, not Engineer. Oh no, that's Jawa S. Yeah, I got him in there. All right, Sith Eternal, Dooku, Alec, Django, Watt. Maybe a strong candidate for Bane. Lord Vader could also. So what? Cere Malicos? Maybe even Cere Malicos Starkiller for Rey? Cere Malicos. What would it be? I don't have Cal, so that is disadvantage. What about EP? Don't have anything. But we evil thermals, strictly speaking. That's got to be part of the ploy here. Courage EP Star Killer. Malicos Star Killer Maul Crew, something like that. Run with a Dark Side Bulk level 3, high armor penetration. I can see it. That would be like Bane something. Bane Sass against C. I would have preferred to use Set, I guess, but that was gainfully employed elsewhere. Yeah. Yeah, what is that Rey team? It looks, don't scoff at it, guys, because this is one of those things. If you weren't thinking about it, and if you're also, knowing that I've been successful a couple times recently using EP Star Killer against Rey, you might think there's something to this. And if they're thick enough to not immediately die and get DI, there can be some real threat out of them just existing on the board. It's not.
I assure you they're thick.
Sorry?
I assure you they're very thick. They will not be dying.
Yeah, I expect that they are going to be pretty solid here. Yeah, going to be.
Ignore the 70% health, but they're just insane recovery on Dorad and other stuff.
I believe it. Yeah, Ray Ben getting the 80% offense. Exactly. Don't scoff, guys. Because it's one of those things. Talk shit, get hit. You laugh at it, and then, ain't gonna be laughing. All right, now we do have JMK. That would trivialize this Aphra thing. Sorry, were you going to say something? Okay.
No.
JMK, Cat, GK, Nips, Padme, go with the full bore. JML, then, versus Jedi Master Mace? Oh, yeah. I have a couple. How does Aphra story? This is the stun cron. They need to do special abilities to stun. They do not have an especially high amount of potency. Always going to get Baylan, right? Test that real. Dash Kira? Something like that? Critical damage. Well, we have the run, so don't need to. Okay. Doesn't CLS still run over Aphra and save JMK? I don't know if CLS runs over Aphra with the Sorticron. Maybe it does. But between the crit avoidance and then the large amount of potency fueling the max life total of Aphra, I don't know that I'd want to risk it myself. And why was I talking about potency? Yeah, no, I just need to be able to land doubt. If I'm taking Aphra versus Finzori, if I can land my AoE doubt, that necessarily means that all of them are burning their first turn on a basic. And frankly, my Aphra BT1 do not need a bunch of turns to actually lay out the whole team. So that might be the window. Yeah, the resistance cron. Yeah, it didn't have tenacity to resist me, is what I'm saying. If you saw yesterday's fight versus Rockstar, he had about 100%, like 98% tenacity on his Finzori. And that's what had me thinking, like, I don't really have best potency cron available to give to Aphra for that purpose, so I went with something else. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I get utterly closed out here. Feels good. You got the TMR, that's nice. Still have to hit you regardless. Well, I don't. I could actually see that they all have the tenacity. So I can't rely on the cooldowning. We just have to be the sheer force of coming soon. Guys, I don't feel like this. Wow, our turn meter is way up. You guys are never going to see the light. Okay, so glad I didn't really overthink this one. And I'm usually having Baylan on defense, so he might have, there's plenty of reason to think that this could have given me trouble. But I remember doing Baylan a while ago. Glad it still holds. Otherwise, I was going to be doing something like Traya. Traya isn't even on the battle plan right now. It's kind of awkward. Maybe there is an application with. I just haven't thought about it. So JML, Jedi-Cal, JKR, Oda versus Jedi Master Mace. So Watt's going to get a tech out. I don't think that matters. Okay. Yeah, so the reason not to attempt CLS, in my opinion, is just the stat profile of this. That's the biggest reason. This other stuff is not great either. You stop and think about it, but yeah. I appreciate the use of Forlom. Pretty smart. All right. Shin can ignore taunt. Yes, that's right. Bushman, hello, Big T, and good luck. Thanks, man. We're having a pretty good run so far. Traya the Mace, I have done that, Smegan, in the distant past, now that you mention it. I'll look that one up. That's a good one. Rusty Garden Chair says, hello, Tass. Just tuning in. All is well, I hope. Yeah, guys. Everything is going great. Actually, I do off the music again. But, okay. Let's do the fights that we know we want. Oh my god, I don't even... Here I am thinking about what kind of bullshit. Against Finn, when I literally have Lord Vader and no plan. My eyeball is twitching in my pocket. Okay, let us go with Cere Malicos here. See how it goes. You would want through all through. And wouldn't you know it, I have some just like. So how about it? Armor penetration wise? Yeah, I knew you'd be high up there. Critically. This cron does not have buffs up level 3. This one does. This one's actually probably the best thing. Oh. My daughter just came through the door. Sounds like we just got back from Grandma's, guys. Oh, okay. Traya against Mace is a full banner win, says Greyport. With what cron? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to step away for a couple minutes, guys. It's just as well. I got to fill up my coffee. We'll press on here in just a few minutes. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll be right back. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So, my daughter's home from Grandma's. I found out she woke up at 3 a.m. and never went back to sleep, so we're pretty crabby. I am expecting a nap imminently. But she's all right. Hey, Wombrat just raided in with 5 viewers. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Yeah. we're gonna move on with the show here. We'll be okay. Scavenger's the one that have to go. All right. How old is my daughter? She is 7 now. Yeah. 7. All right, here we go. Find the scavenger. It is he that must go first. Dispel. Okay. Maybe it is not he that must go first. Oh, interesting. That we... Oh, that's true. Have tenacity up. Pain. Things. Speak. Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. How are you? Ow. Hmm. 62 will do. Shocking amounts of damage. All right, so for real, what do we got? Hurt meter 3. Yeah. All right. High health, crit damage, and then the Ufu stacking health could potentially be an issue. I can see it. We're going to set up the same way we did last. W1R2, Jin, in red. This is the one I'm looking for. Prod up level 3, stun 6, crit damage, health. Nice. Yeah, that Ray, Ryurik, I think that Ray was very much intended to be anti-EP Star Killer. Because if you don't just immediately remove the Jawas Scavenger from the battle, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for those deaths to stack. You're a max health based team. Not good. And I have been doing EP Star Killer a couple times recently, so he was not insane to have thought to impede that. Fortunately, Spear Malikos still available. Let's see who gets locked down first. Really? I bet he doesn't know that. I bet he doesn't know that.
I'm guessing it's red ignite on all of them, and yeah.
Still, I bet he doesn't know that. All right, we're gonna go for the greed like I did last time, and I'm gonna try to give him the pop. Yup, that'll do. I'll have me some more of that. They do tend to pick him. I'd rather have you knock down more than anything. Truthfully, it doesn't really matter. Ow, stop that. You then? Good. Can I take your turn meter? Probably not. Could go with the heal, but I'd rather try and get you out of the gate. Means this. think so. Bye-bye. Shields up. May now exit my plane. Yeah, Womp. Yeah, how rude of me to have not asked already, but Boga Player does ask. Womp, how did your Grand Arena end up going? Share with the class. Perfect defense. Her health is pretty big, yeah? I think the kind of big I should worry about. Take it. 63 will do. Okay. We'll easily outrun. Precious unhappy camper. Who is my ally? Oh, shit. I do have talent. I also have Savage. This is a crown we had last 5 vs 5.
You did, yes. The grand of one beat Jawas.
What? Oh, well, I mean, yeah. Oh, yes, that is true. Wampa exists. Oh my god.
Maybe no one else exists. Stunned.
What about stun? Who's stun?
Oh, this is the wrong DQ. Never mind. I keep forgetting that DQ doesn't have the irresistible stun thing anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. But then again, you know, I haven't actually filtered anything on yet. Check my homework. It was from... Oh, couldn't have been.
No, it's from the new set.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, we just had it for 1 week.
Well, a lot of good you are.
Thank you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
I would do seeds. I'm sorry, not seeds.
I feel like Bane's still probably the...
Bane and not Talon.
Bane and not Talon? Why not Talon?
Because see, I don't feel like having Bane get fried, but Talon refusing to die.
What?
I would prefer if Talon fucked off and, if the second Sith fucked off and died. then makes that a bit harder on herself by being in stealth. And seeing the link that, getting old and all that shit.
Alright.
I would prefer the second set to die, but personally. But if you think the battle will be over before he yells.
What is that? Cover health and protection. Gonna be. We'll circle back to that fight. Wampacron is immune to stun. Yeah, what do you guys think though? The defense penetration and offense up from the level 3 could make the mass assist. Who's got the mass? Trench does, right? I don't think the Sith Eternal middle calls all dark side. I think it's just Sith, right? No Traya versus Mace. Oh, yeah, that's true. I just didn't actually have it in the plan. What did you guys end up saying was the Tron that you prefer there?
Also, for all that's relevant, see that it is for all dark side and not for Sith, by the way.
Dig that. All right, so glad you checked. Thanks. Bulk or high health is what Greyport said earlier. So, health-wise, dark side bulk, we've got this little beauty. Pretty nice. I think we'll take that. Any cron should work so long as you have a spare bulk, use it. All right, guys, let's jump in. Isolate Temple Guard. I assume try to destroy Jocasta before she transforms. Assuming that's the way. It may not be the way, depending. Let's delay this until after Scions. Why are you faster? I thought I had you. What would defeat? Anyway. I have to. Take a drain. Maybe the move is to hit something else, because if I'm not actually doing decisive blows, hitting her doesn't help me. Or focus. Okay, well, never mind. You can just leave the show now. So I guess that's probably what you guys had experienced as well. Giga Drain. Why was Simon out of Nihilus? Drive me crazy. All right. You guys advertised it as such. There it is. Thank you. Good recommendation. The JMK there, like something like Lord Vader here. Every time Lord Vader takes a turn, he'll put out passive dots that shuts down, turn meter. Yes, they get to dispel a lot. Yes, I get to put out dots a lot. There is probably something to that. Also JML. Let us approach that. Turn meter. We should still run. Can I bungle this twice in a week? First of all,
why not GM of Demon?
You should.
Sorry, GMK, dude. GMK. My bad.
Yeah, no, because JMK is my freebie solution to Aphra with the Sortie Crumb. Bane also eats that, Zori. I've seen data that confirms what you're saying, Rusty Garden Chair. I have trauma from a fight some time ago where I remember my Bane just getting wrapped into non-existence, and I was like, you know what? I'm a team that I can use to like take out Slacker in a lot of metas. I'm not gonna do that again.
Lessons for night.
Sorry, what's that?
Lessons for night.
Hey, two man, yeah, I know. Mystical, not Dr. MJ Strange. I've seen all four. Or 1763. That's what you're saying. I'm gonna. Oh no, never mind. That's what. Banking kept popped. Yes, it smelled like pitch in here. Hey, Rusty. I pray that you do not experience what I have seen. All right. So the question is, do I take hope? Do I take Jolie? Quick fight. If it goes the way I want it to. This is fun. Let's go. Okay, so when you play this fight like a not ape, like I did last round, turns out it's actually extraordinarily easy to do. So, wow, we've all learned something today.
Yes, a GM piece for Zori.
That's right, and that's why you're a patron of this channel. To pick up advantages.
Like I said, you're
cutting edge.
Like I said, the only benefit of this patronage is the voice chat for talking, and not your streams. We all know that. I need to defeat this man with some bad advice. Des already has enough bad advice, and I don't think I need to add to it.
That's fair. But that was a 65, right? Even without Hoda involved. So, nice. Yay, we were able to do that. Okay, so JMK exists. Let's do the Bane here and be done with it. Oh, do we do Bane Lord Vader for the stunt? Is that what it is?
Sure.
Pretty incredible. You don't really get to do this.
Best of luck is all I got.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't be needing much of the luck here, hopefully.
Think about this.
They all die.
They'll all die. Yeah. Probably fair. It is yeah, it should be fun. It should also be high banner if it works, which it should. See. Rush. Nice.
Good to know it was a lot of people just dying.
Meets expectations.
Can I say it's like a truck?
Sorry?
They're gonna be doing work.
Yeah, that's the defense penetration that I was telling you about. Defense penetration and offense up. There.
I'm hoping C gets to ult and.
I think he
just
will
use-
get to
yeah.
ult, which is just
Yes,
delightful.
yes.
Just fucking fantastic.
So Catalyst, there you go.
You bastard. Ruined my life.
Yeah, like I said, he gives enough bad advice on his own. I told him not to even bother taking talent because she'll delay it, make it longer. And he went in with Lord Vader instead.
I did it for the
Yeah.
fun.
I'm just saying.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. There.
Yeah.
And also, no regrets. You know, never punished. 65. You can't tell me it's wrong.
Sure. I'll keep him with points. TW is active.
That is fair, though.
Oh,
It wasn't really advantageous for that fight to go on.
That's why I didn't even want talent in there, because she, does increase the time.
I see it. I do. Okay, can't.
Surely you do, Mendes. Surely you do.
I'm not two-manning a damn thing. Now, this is where I'm not listening to the bad advice. I'm just going to take the thing out expeditiously. They're not going to catch me today. Not today. All right. Actions up. Yep. Go away. Okay, so 1391. What did I say at the beginning? Bust out the calculator. So 38 banners going into fleet. Now this is where I think things could get a little rough. Last couple of rounds, things have been pretty straightforward on fleet, but I know from looking into his the end of the last 3 vs 3 that he's going to be running this home one with whatchamacallit in there. Yep. Home one with Millennium Falcon. Okay, so a few different ways to handle this. What did I have written in? So what I had written originally for my plan was like use Leviathan against home one or full Profundity, but I don't think I have full Profundity, right? I think it might be possible to do without Millennium Falcon. I don't know that I want to take the risk. I want to burn 2 fleets on home one. Executor, I don't have Empire, so it would have to be Negotiator. Or what? Or Leviathan, I guess. And then against Leviathan, he's doing the SAS Mark 6 for the most part. I was thinking endurance maybe, but I'm not well practiced in the endurance fight. So that's what I kind of have to mull over. You know what this battle needed? An Aphra tank? Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think that's going to save you from JMK, the likes of JMK, but it's something. As far as fleets that we do have, though, I have the Profundity without Millennium Falcon. Is that what I actually... So, I guess that would be something worth checking. Do I have a tab open? For fighting home one. Leviathan, yeah. See, somebody's done this with endurance last season. It looks doable. I'm just not practicing. And there does seem to be some variance on the way that you open up.
I mean, if you're doing the standard comp instead of like the funny Scandal Phantom shit, I can understand that. I can't help you with the other one though. I have no clue how that works. Like, it never worked for me.
Yeah, that's what I gotta sit and think about. Endurance got nerfed when they brought out the Rogue One. Oh, is that the case? All right, so if you're telling me to not do that, then I think my only real choice is Leviathan there. That kind of clarifies things, doesn't it? So Leviathan there. Executor probably becomes challenge. Well, that's the other thing to check is against Executor triple, can I run So, can I run Profundity without Millennium? I wouldn't think I'd see a lot of data. Okay, some people... Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, yeah, exceedingly few. How important is it? Okay, there we go. The exact was throwing it off. Narrow it then. Ha! Okay. What do you got for me? Exactly 1. It says it's possible. Wonder if that extra reinforcement. And if so, why would it be Phantom?
For what? Sorry. Phantom there?
Wait a minute. No, if I'm trying to do... I don't think I can do that. I really need to do attempting the Profundity versus... Don't I? Or versus the home one. Also, that same exclusion. Yeah. Spot on. Somebody made it work. Opened up with Raven. How many did you... Doesn't look like you... Might have just called in the... I think it's doable, guys. I think I'm just going to use Ghost instead on the front line. Because Executor is probably more doable. Certainly is a 2-shot. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Endurance versus exec, Nego versus exec. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Nego exec is what you would do, Striker. I probably have to guess my way through that. It's been a while. All right.
No, if you do Nego exec, what the fuck is the plan for Levy?
Levy gets Levy. That because you guys are saying
you have Levy.
You're saying the endurance is nerfed. So
yeah, I mean it still works, but it's really.
But but people are saying that it works. It got nerfed when Rogue One came out. And so if that's the case, I don't need the. All right, so I guess people are taking this because they can and it's available. I do have the luxury of taking an extra ship. Does it need to be this one?
Shouldn't this be? I'm sorry.
Oh wait, I'm lining up for the wrong thing.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, but it's still the same composition. Just wrong spot. Yes, MILF is with home one on defense, Hera. I took that very same idea from Arsenal. I saw him doing it at the end of the last 3 vs 3. I took that very... Hey, Master Kyla, good to see you. The Tormentos, hello, good afternoon. What's the idea behind that? The idea is B-Wing comes out first, and then the AI priority of Millennium Falcon has it come out second, which comes out quickly. Comes out, gives foresight to everybody, which is whatever, but then it causes a mass assist on the target enemy, and then it reduces all of the capital cooldowns by 1, except for reinforcement, which I don't even know if that's even been used at this point in the battle, but it's there. I mean, you're asking what it is? That's the idea. The gimmick is way more pressure, and who is it pressure for? Mostly, I think, for Executor and potentially banner stripping from Profundity. But yeah, I decided to give it a shot. Anyways, what was it that we saw here? Yeah, people running with those. But they didn't look like they were really getting... Let's hope that this...
To be honest, you can 3-man this with MILF, so with this should be fine.
Yeah. Hey, Striker. How you doing?
Alright. Apart from you made me nervous when you lined up against the wrong thing, so I thought I'd better jump in so
yeah,
I can avoid the basic errors.
I almost did. I'm deep in the sauce right now, so easily distracted. Ideally, we kill you.
Against the Lord says just no milk.
Go. The heat is on. God. Oh God. Okay, this would be pretty good for getting rid of the foresights. Take the money and run there. Have to hit you, so we will. Yes, we actually got the disruption. Once in history of history. Yeah, things look grim. Assists are coming in. Grim.
This looks exactly how I put it out.
I literally can't hear you. You're so quiet.
No, this looks, you know, all in control.
Probably the heal. Whatnot. I'm sure this will not be bad. He said confidently moments before the coming of the end. Oh yes. The end is coming. Oh my god. Stop getting assists from everything. Son of a bitch.
They don't get exactly that stuff. That's all the
Dispel.
If nothing else, you've got to get rid of the B-Wing, haven't you? Or MILF.
No.
Either or.
I mean, it's pretty cooked looking.
Yeah, then go for milk because the amount of damage you do is irrelevant because B-Wing will start.
See what happens.
And it's going to be easy to
there's
kill.
B-Wing. Okay, just chill. Well, I think basic's the best damage I can do.
Yes. So the second calls an assist. So
Yeah, I don't know how much that matters. Well, Outrider to assist. It only will call Outrider, so glad we checked.
yeah, well, basically that's
Ooh, look at that! We almost got it too. Almost ain't gonna pay the bills. Okay, we have the incentive to try and knock something. Action up is kind of prohibitive. Go after B. We have to take anything. Try and make it work. Hit hard? It really wasn't what I meant, but you know, I'll take that.
Oh.
Alright, so we have to keep this.
You do, because B-Wing won't be starting now.
Yes, that's
That's
right.
the magic roller.
That really slows things down. Millennium's still going to be a real threat, though.
Have you got first order?
I do.
I would, because classically that was the counter to Home 1 in the original fleets.
Pretty much anything will clear this up if you go fast enough. Because, yes, you will have MILF calling an assist, but that by that time,
In which case, I think the next thing to do then is Negotiator versus Executor. Because you need to know if you need to know what's best to clean up Executor if you fail, if it goes sideways there.
Yeah. Negotiator, best win rates. These scanners are terrible.
it's coming up with Paris. He leaves 2 ships off the rip.
Any of these.
Everything but Ahsoka is needed.
Everything but Ahsoka is needed. Yeah.
Ahsoka is your flex of sorts. Like, you might end up wanting her, but you might not. But everything but her is needed.
Yeah, I have an Executrix fleet on defense, Kylo. I know you're trying to tag me again and again about it, but no, man, I have Executrix on defense, so my best Empire ships are on defense. Malevolence, I thought, can clean the Home 1 up. I think I've seen that done as well.
Mal, Radis, both will believe that. It's whatever. But this is more important because that's an easier cleanup.
Okay, so these ships, I want to say that you're calling in the
It's Old Republic.
Old Republic
Anakin,
ship first. Yeah. Wait a minute, no, you're not up front. Is who? It's
Rex.
Fives and Rex. Okay, been a while since I did this one, so I'll try and figure out my way through it. Did Arsenal get through mine? Yes, he did it cleanly for 59 banners, so maybe he prioritized a different target than I did. Maybe he had different RNG than I did. I don't know. But that was the...
59 isn't clean.
Yeah, he says 59.
59 is a blood bath.
59 is one shot.
I don't disagree that it's a one shot, but I would not call it clean.
No, I suppose I wouldn't. But yeah, we got some good tax there. That's why we have a little latitude going in. We have 38 banners going into here, and he also had like 2 69s on fleet.
Okay.
I would dig Circa then. You have that because you might, and it's better than a clean. Because sometimes you end up calling it third instead of fourth, and that's better.
Yeah, to be fair, she can come in useful if you end up in a certain situation.
If you say that, if I've got the latitude, so the idea would be what? We're all in on punishing.
So
yes, punishing one message is correct.
I think Fives goes first, and you basic on punishing
Right.
one. Punishing one does his middle, calls Mando and targets Rex. Mass assist onto Rex, Rex dies.
Yep.
That's the right time for everyone.
Okay, basic onto punishing one.
Goodbye, Rex.
Then we mass assist onto punishing one. Okay. Then we middle.
Yeah, we do it down.
Middle, we have to get the ability box. Okay.
Target special.
No,
That's annoying.
basic. You need 70, but
Just basic.
Basic.
Him.
yeah, punishing one, correct.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
Sorry.
Then bring out Ebonhawk. Yep, Ebonhawk.
And then basic.
Target Cad Bane. Sanity Blood, yeah. Basic.
Oh, okay.
Basic. Yeah. And I would, if it was me, I'd do third and heal up Fives. Fives should
Hitting
keep
punishing.
targeting Cad Bane. Keep targeting Cad
Yeah,
Bane.
just
Cad Bane is going to eat
Yeah,
Fives'
yeah.
big hit,
Yeah, I see it right
and
there.
they're both going to die.
Now you go.
Yeah, I see it.
Go.
Well, so you can go.
Yeah, this part's a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
now
the
you
part
do.
where
Put it on him.
Yep.
Marauder.
No, there's no
Marauder.
point for not. Don't put it on Fives. Put it on Marauder.
Marauder.
Because all you're giving is offense up, and he's got buff immunity. Now do your third.
You know the middle will dispel.
Right, but the third gives
Will
us
refresh
chaff,
on
and
two.
then he can't. We can't get target lock, so it staves off their thing even more. Now you basic.
Focus
okay.
him.
Whatever, just keep
Yeah,
keep
get
it to
Boba Fett down if you can.
that. Whatever.
Anakin.
See, I'm tempted to bring Ahsoka for this
Okay.
one. It removes the foresight, removes the crit hit,
And just focus him down.
and focus him down.
Yeah.
That's
This
alright.
side. Just basic.
Basic gives us TM.
Yep. Come on, basic. Kill it.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
Oh well, at least he's targeted, so big hit.
Well, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we can bring in Anakin.
Well, not.
Oh,
quite
do the
yet,
mass,
but
do
at
the
least we
mass.
can mass. Yeah. Better than nothing. Wow, it still didn't kill. Holy shit, dude. Be
my
real.
Sorry, you should
Okay,
have
now we
middle.
do AOE.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, this is going as you expect, by the way. It's not going too fast.
Just basic.
Yeah,
This is
that's
2
fine.
minutes.
Now bring in Anakin.
Anakin, okay.
Yeah, well, that gives us 2 routes to buff immunity on.
Yeah,
Thing.
Save her.
Yeah, save her.
Bombs.
Yeah, might as well.
Use them, de boomba.
And now you watch more other solo, everybody. So.
No, we're gonna win this before we get there. Right, I gotta basically do 3rd. Yeah, buff immunity. Oh my god, the timing on these buff immunities is ridiculous. What have we got? Plow? Yeah, bring out Plow. Yeah, bring out Plow because
push. Try to finish the fight quick.
pretty much you got a minute.
That is out fucking outrageous.
Yeah, no, that's expected. You just have absolute, second luck. Yeah.
Thank God he didn't heal Houndstooth.
Yeah, now brothers, basically, so does everybody. Alright, keep going.
Yep.
Just basic.
Yeah, basic. And Anakin's going to finish the
any
fight.
kind of damage. God, what a fight! 64. Okay, well,
Yes.
at least it's a one shot. I will take it. Negotiator.
It
64.
was needed, yeah.
And very, very good call to bring in Ahsoka.
It really was. That's a hot call. All right, Leviathan gets us safely through Leviathan, so let's focus on this one now.
Resistance, still clear. Yeah.
You think resistance is the most fault tolerant here? I've
No.
never really thought of this ship as being tanky enough for that.
I
But then
used
again,
to
this
use-
really is a dud. Like, it is a dud. Like, you're going to have cooldowns out of phase on the Capital, and the B-Wing reinforcements not a factor.
Right. I used to use Home 1 to beat resistance regularly.
Sure.
So,
yes. And that is with, MILF. So that's a fair point. What's your
So
answer?
Still win, though. So
I think it would work, but I wouldn't guarantee it.
I can afford to do it, I guess.
First order, you want like first order will at least guarantee something. So I guess if you check faster.
Can I make a suggestion? Can we do Leviathan to then do Leviathan fight, see how many banners we've got, and then see if we need to one-shot if we still have an extra drop?
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, we should still... If that remains our only drop, we are still in a pretty comfortable spot, banner. Okay.
Cool.
Ads are over. We're back. We're going to knock out the Leviathan fight and then resume the siege of Home 1. Paid the blood price. Alright, so you see, if we had done Endurance there, I'm pretty sure that Phantom 2 is the end of Endurance. All's well that ends well, I guess.
No, you would have still just had to do a cleanup basically of the slowdown. That's all. It would have been much easier to find it here.
Yeah.
She also don't.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Did we lose today?
Yeah.
Okay, you are more than entitled to do that, my man.
That's the worst, shittiest the IFC, I would say.
Certainly not the best.
I feel offended on Arsenal's behalf. Like, that was not. I wanted
It's
to gone.
some bullshit. The whole point of you doing this is to get that extra free kill there. Snipe another few banners. Would be mad. One's just fine. Okay, so let's do the quick calculation, shall we? 1762 minus
16 banners, I think.
27 minus 19. Wait, what? Please. Am I ruining the math wrong? People cleared me.
Yeah, so 15 plus 219 is 7. What's that? 46. So then that's 16 banners.
Yeah.
Provided you get 16 banners from this last fight, you are tying. So you need 17 banners to win. So you should be able to do this no problem.
So what do you think here, Radis?
Just for funsies? Now that you can afford it?
Or Malevolence?
Yes, Radis, Malevolence, and maybe even First Order if you felt like it. I don't know.
I mean, we can kitchen sink this, so...
Yeah, this is not a concern.
Figure this
It's a
out.
little bit.
Who was it that we killed?
The
wedge?
Biggs is out of the question.
Yeah, the Biggs is gone. So
which is a big thing.
It is. Or something.
And the reinforcement is instead now viewing is starting.
It's not B-Wing in the reinforcement. Say that.
But it's starting, yeah.
Yeah,
it's starting or not. Doesn't really matter.
We'll say that. We'll say
fine.
that. Oh yeah, that's wrong.
I think it still reduces cooldown or something. Those devil shit.
Malevolence, 58. Triple Geo.
That's expected. Yeah, you just burn them down before they even do anything.
Sure.
Cool.
Let's give that a go. You just started. Any tips? Oh, geez, Sting. Yeah, I mean, there's a billion tips to give. The important thing for you as a new player would be to find a content creator that can point you in the right direction for the new player experience. This unable to be... Yeah, it can be evaded, but it can't be resisted. Take a shot at a ship. Anyone we can. Dispel here or spread? Now, let's go ahead and just get these foresights out. Off the table. Out. Up. Yep. Out. Drop. You're allowed to stop. You are stunned. You cannot do anything right. How interesting. Go for you? Well, you can't evade because you're stunned. It's like a weight. It was worth it.
Game over.
Still gonna do this. And we will do it just to... Well, yeah, we'll do it.
myself out of the distractor while I have here. Do you remember to do like 3 PW effects?
Yeah, I know. It's been absolutely manic day. I've been out since about 7 o'clock this morning. I only got back at like 10 past 6, something like that. Yes, I am aware, and Brother's already asked me to record a fight for him, so.
Oh god, those banners were horrible. Okay.
Yeah. It's alright.
It's alright.
You have
Complain
won
less.
by 32 banners.
Yay! Alright. So that's our fight. We did win, and our advantage from ground carried over into fleet, where I expected I was gonna have to two-shot at least one fleet. And I'm glad for this. So let's see. Malevolence. When is the last time that Malevolence saved my bacon? Been a while.
Did you ever have to zerg down a Leviathan fleet after it went sideways?
Yeah, I've been in that position before and then not gotten through. So yeah, I mean, Heratran in the chat gave a great piece of advice, Sting. He said, watch all of Tassenix's mod guides. In particular, if you are new, knowing how to start farming and picking good mods is something you should learn as soon as possible. Because if you're brand new, you have a little bit of time before you're really interacting with mods. And as soon as you can, I would get on them. There's the how-to mod parts 1, 2, and 3. Watch them in order. And that should take you through the very best practices that I've learned through all my years playing the game. And yeah, if you have more questions, hit us up on Discord, YouTube, comments, whatever you want to do. Let's see. I'm a QT. Who did you recommend? Even if I don't always like how he acts, sometimes he's by far the best creator for early game content. Who are you referring to? Did I miss that? Yeah, pay us out. That's right. The unders have it on Twitch. Let's do right by the people. Your faith in me was rewarded today.
Yeah, that's almost trying to fuck the honor for the by the way.
All right, let's go ahead and do the attack summary. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, I did cover how Arsenal cleared my entire defense. We did get some holds, but I'll give you guys a quick review just again. We got a hold on Ray and on Jabba up front. In the back, no holds. And I don't think actually any banners pulled now that oh no, he got a 59 on Queen. So we did something there with Queen roll. Something. All right. Great Mothers, all these. Yeah, he just one-shot this entire top wall. The last couple teams there are Pirate King and JMM, if you can't see because of my face. And then here in the back in Fleet, because I knew he was doing this thing with Home 1 having Millennium Falcon, when I was looking at that, I really sat there and thought about how I could just cleanly breeze through that. And I was concerned, because it's not about beating Home 1. It's knowing that he's going to set Home 1 and Leviathan. The Executor, I wasn't even expecting today. So that was a twist based on his recent history. But at least Home 1 and Leviathan. So when you think about that, that's your Leviathan and your normal, fully fledged Profundity tied up right there. And then whatever his third ship is, maybe your banners aren't so great. Anyway, that's why I decided to throw his same defense back at him with Home 1. And he cleared it. I want to say the banners was like a 69. So it wasn't super clean, but he got it done. Executrix, he also got a 69. And then he had the two-shot Executor, which I also have not been setting. So we both kind of threw that at each other. Nice. We both got one drop out of each other in Fleet, though. And yeah, just a cleaner ground, as you'll see in a second, gave us the game. All right, bottom front. Against his Pirate King, Bane, Brutus, Silvo, and OG Hondo with the Hondo Cron. We use Slacker, Dre, Hux, Faust, and First Order Special Forces with the Special Forces Cron, 65 banners. Against Maz Kanata, Quiggold, Ithano, Kix, and SM73 with the Set 24, Darkside Bulk level 3, Long Text Pirate level 6. We went in with Riva, I was really sweating about what I wanted to do on this one. Was it going to be Riva? Was it going to be Baylan? Was I going to attempt JML? I heard bad things about JML. And I heard nothing about Baylan, but I would think it could work. In the end, I remember doing Riva versus Maz at least once in 3 versus 3. That gave me the confidence to go with it. Shout out to the chat. I want to say to Shake here on Discord and Kiowa out there on YouTube, recommending to take in 9th. I really underestimated the damage. If you have a fully health modded out with health primaries, 9th sister, and she's also happens to become like Relic 9. Wow, those assists were titanic because they'd have to be to take the size of chunks that they were out of the enemy Quiggled. See for yourself, it was impressive. All that said, 57 banners, AoE damage still mattering. It's pretty tough to restore full health to that team. End up taking some AoE punishment. I want to say that death marks dictated how I had to go through that fight. In an ideal world, what's his name? Ithano would have death marked himself sooner. But that wasn't the order in which things went down. And so by the time he did death mark himself, I want to say he already put some AoE damage on the team, pretty much robbing us of real hope of getting banners back. I didn't have my back yet. Grand Inquisitor to heal. Not the best. Anyway, against Traya, Savage, Nihilus, OG Kylo, and Red, with an interesting setup. So he's got the OG Kylo level 9, which is going to have him assist other First Order guys doing 50% increased damage on the basic. And yeah, this was also the double damage on full health for First Order. So there could have been some issues if I approached this the wrong way. Sith Eternal is something that I typically like against Traya, and maybe he knew that. And that's why this was designed to apply a lot more pressure. I went in with C, Watt, GBA, set, and armor. Committed the full bore to it. Got 54 banners, lost everybody but C and armor. And it was worth it. It was worth it if you watch, I think. Maybe I could have rotated something else knowing what I know now, but I don't know. Lord Vader, Oppo, CX2, DCT, and Scorch. Easy money for Maz, Kix, Quiggled, Ithano, and SM33 for 65. In the back. Ooh, I'll tell you about that in a minute, Terratren. Get back to you. In the back, he had a Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, Exile Ezra, Padawan Sabine, a General Syndulla, and Hu Yang, with a what was it? Well, it was a long text Ufu level 6 to begin with, but I can't remember what the 9 was. Went in with Leia. The level 3. The level 3 was the turn meter to the weakest. Interestingly, the weakest was Padawan Sabine and not General Syndulla. So she just opened up with her missile, which is a single target, doesn't do it a ton, but it does set the stage for her next turn all that much earlier, which can hurt. It didn't really make much of a difference today, though. Once again, went in with Leia, Drogon, R2, Jin, Radis. Took that set 23 light side bulk. The light side protection up level 3. Resistance stun level 6 for R2. And then crit damage and health on the stat besides. Was able to pass turn meter from Jin over to Drogon. Popped Exile Ezra super early in the fight. And we knew we were good from there. Oh, it was the ability block level 6, Hera? Was that? I thought he had long text there, but could be wrong. Anyway, that was a 63, I want to say. Yes. Against Rey, Swolo, and then Jawa trio, Scavenger, Nebbit, and who is it? Engineer? Yeah, I think Engineer. Went in with Cere, Malico, Starkiller, Maul Crew, and got a 60. I think this, now you might question, why would you set this? I mean, the stats on the Kron are amazing, and you might think the mechanics from the thermal detonators could be a problem if your opponent really favors using EP Starkiller. If I had to rely on EP Starkiller to get through this, if I didn't get Scavenger out almost immediately, it could be a serious issue. So anyway, 62. Against C, Dooku, Malik, Django, and Watt. Watt, of course, went first and put Tank Tech on Malik, which is surprising to me. Because I don't know this to be certain, but I thought that the code for how Watt looks to assign out Tank Tech is he's looking for the highest health total character. It would seem that he's also looking for the role of tank, if it's there, and maybe even prioritizes that life total. That's what I would seem to think there. Regardless, went in with Bane and Lord Vader. And check this out. I just did this because I could. I had Lord Vader for offense, and I didn't think I'd need Lord Vader elsewhere, so why not stun, yeah? That was the plan. Looking back, I could have used Lord Vader against the Traya team. What are you going to do? Instantly defeat my guys that are immune to instant defeat? You know what I'm saying? I think we could have been okay there. Granted, the dots keep getting dispelled, but that's what the massive amounts of damage are for. But we went in with Bane Lord Vader, and Lord Vader surviving so long meant that Sith Eternal was eventually able to transform and zap out Bane. So it was Lord Vader who ended up finishing the fight for me there for 65. You'd still lose any other ally to Bane early. Then Sith Eternal has no one to link to, so that could never happen if you don't have that side character survive as long as Lord Vader or some other tank might. But if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't take in the Lord. It was fun. I did it because I could. Definitely not because I should. All right, top side. Against his Finn, Zori, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, and Rose. I avenged myself using the very same Jedi comp that I failed with on the previous round. JML, Jedi Cal, JKR, JKL, Joe Lee I took in instead of Hoda, just in case. And yeah, instead of bungling the fight by hitting Finn hard enough, early enough to force him into stealth so that I can't mark him, I did not do that today. Thus, I was able to mark him with JKR. He instantaneously died. And yeah, we kind of manhandled the fight from there. 65 banners. Against Saw, Luthen, Kyle, Krex, and Cara Dune with the Rolocron. So the very team that more or less won me yesterday's match. Went in with Baylan, Shin, Marok, Dash, and Kira. 65 banners. I flex Baylan to and from defense. So he wouldn't know that I would have this today. And considering that I usually use Reva for this team, I wanted Reva for Maz. This could have been a real stress if I didn't have Baylan here. That said, 65 banners. Against Jedi Master Mace, Jocasta Nu, Depa, Ayla, and Temple Guard, we went in with full Traya. You guys recommended this. I was going to take JML here, and so that's what allowed me to rotate JML over to take out Finn. I was going to do something else to Finn, probably Aphra. And I have reason to believe that would work, especially if I use Aphra with the Darth Vader Cron. Pretty nasty. But nevertheless, you guys advocated for full banners, going with Traya, Nihilus, Savage, Talon, and Scion. And as advertised, 65. Against his Aphra, BT1, 000, and then the Relic 9, shout out to the double Relic 9, Forlom and Zuckus. Went in with JMK full. JMK, Cat, GK, Snips, Padme, 65 banners. Could have undermanned, I'm sure, but need to. And I didn't think it was going to be determinant there, considering it was like the last fight I did. Also, considering his drops here and knowing that I was this amount of clean, I expected to have some rough and tumble in fleet, but that's why I didn't really bother with the because I knew we were coming in pretty heavily advantage, even if I did drop. He dropped on my fleet as well. That being said, coming back here, against his home one, I took the calculated risk of using Profundity that did not have the benefit of Millennium Falcon being there. Damage was not great. We just barely managed to kill Biggs. And then, the couple of times we might have put real damage on somebody, they got quickly healed and restored back up. Got closed out in short order by his Millennium Falcon coming off the bench. And yeah, one banner for that attempt. Went back in with Malevolence. Looked this up on Insight. Somebody actually encountered this scenario last 3 versus 3 and went in with Malevolence to take it down, using the triple Geo starter, in fact. Monkey See, Monkey Do, 48 banners, so a total of 49. Against his Executor triple attacker, went in with Negotiator. Been a while since I did that. Shout out here to Shake and Striker, who popped in with me in the stream chat. And you gave some helpful tips in the fight. I may well have played that differently, and a couple instances of RNG had us almost be in a serious bind. But we managed to get it done. 64 banners, which is more or less the expected outcome. And then, of course, against his Leviathan, I had my own Leviathan, 71. That's how it was done. All right, catching back up with the chat. See here. Okay. I'm a QT was saying Sunjita is a good content creator to watch for early games. So if you're still questioning about that, Sting. Yeah, it's not that a lot of stuff on my channel wouldn't be of help to you. Stuff like the how-to mod series, and then when you develop some of your teams up, the how-to mod series on different characters and factions that I've made, those can help. But for early game, it's really about maximizing your resources by building the teams that yield more resources just for having them. And there is a more or less optimized path of doing it, but I have no idea what that is, because when I was doing all that climb and all that roster development, that was way before they made huge changes to the early game experience, how you get resources. So I don't want to, talk out my ass at you about it. I would send you on to Sunjita, I guess, here, a recommendation from I'm a Cutie. I know he's no longer playing. Maybe somebody can say how valid Darth Loquitur's guides are, but he has some great early game content that I think could still be largely of help. He just won't have, stuff on the very latest cutting edge teams like Pirates, let's say. But hope that helps you, man. All right, so yeah, Heratran, you asked how was that dinner yesterday? Yeah, I was telling my patrons about this for the last few days. My wife and I are big fans of sushi, and there is we live in the Metro Detroit area. I live about a half hour out of it, and outside of Detroit. And in Detroit, there is a sushi restaurant that actually offers omakase, which I've never had before. And if you're not familiar with omakase, it's basically you and only a few other people. In this case, for this restaurant, only up to 8. It's just you guys and the chef. The chef is serving nobody else but you guys, and it's a chef's choice dinner. So he's going to create. Let's say there's 8 of you. He's going to create 8 of one thing, serve it up. Have a few minutes to eat. He's working on making the next course. Next course comes out, like so. And on it goes for about 2 hours. Really incredible experience. Got to taste a wide variety of things. Really delicious. Razor clam, fatty toro. Just the melt on the tongue kind. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean there were a whole bunch of really good things. The yellowtail there was superb. My wife very much liked their grilled scallop. I personally didn't care for that as like the only thing. I didn't think it was a bad dish. It just wasn't to my taste. Other than that, it was incredible. I had a couple good cocktails there. My wife found out she loves Sapporo and apparently detests Asahi, and I love both. So it's all good. Eritran also recommends Scribe's free-to-play series as well. He apparently tries to keep it up to date every few weeks, so check all that out. Okay, yeah, it was on that Great Mothers team, or on the Ahsoka team. I see you, Hera. No worries. All right. Hey, Swagger Players here. Okay. The Tormento says, Tass, one question. Do you change mods on OG Hondo for this 5 vs 5 Grand Arena? No, I've not. OG Hondo, I'm not saying you have to stay this way, but I set him up for the last 3 vs 3 to have reasonably high speed, very high health, just to get the most benefit out of the protection ups that are frequently there. You might argue, oh, you could go easily with protection because there is protection restoration. So starting out with a broad base of that gets a lot of value. I don't know which way is necessarily better primary wise. I think in an ideal world, I would have a crit damage triangle and a potency cross because with fairly little work from there, I can have about 100% potency, helping me land potentially the AoE ability block from his third. The crit damage, for obvious reasons. I mean, he does ramp crit damage, so having a crit damage triangle is maybe less efficient for a long fight than having a health primary, and that's why I modded him the way I did. Yeah, unless the fight goes really long, then anyway. So I kind of went with this sort of setup. So, and the idea was with the 2-piece of defense, I was looking for high defense secondaries. So I've gotten up to about 62% armor. That's not, huge. And that is with 16% added. He has a pretty miserable base defense. But that was kind of the theory I was going with. Could I be convinced to go feed potency with the crit damage triangle, potency cross, like I mentioned? Okay. Could I see a reasonably fast offense set? Crit damage triangle, potency. Yeah, all these would be good. You can even be like Xerath and run the offensive primary on the cross because, and especially if you have flat offense on it, the offense primary ends up being better value in a long fight because you're ramping crit damage over the fight, not offense. There's something there. Tormentos, thanks. I didn't see any 2 Hondos with the same modding in all of Kyber 1. There's a good bit of flexibility. It depends on what you want him to do. Obviously, with him being here the way I have him, he's meant more to survive than to do a ton of damage himself. If he lives long enough, he'll be doing decent damage regardless, right? But there is a significant difference between a Hondo modded for real damage and one that's kind of like this for more survivability. The hits are... We can do a little Q&A here if you guys have questions. We're in the post game now, so I guess I'm at your disposal. We'll keep the chat open. How about I take a couple minutes break myself? Stretch my legs, take a drink, gargle some water. Got some type of catch in the back of my throat. But yeah, when I get back, let's do a couple questions, and then if you guys are good, then I'll raid out after that. So see you in just a minute. Tormentos. Redeeming the hydrate. Appreciate you. All right. I see your question, Darthcliff. Don't think I don't see that. I'll come back and answer your question first as soon as I get back. Thanks for the hydrate, Tormentos. See you all in just a minute, and I'll turn the music. All right, we're back. We're now in question answering mode. So yeah, ask anything, guys. I get this. I get asked this a lot. I don't charge you for answering questions. You're welcome to tip if you want, but no, ask anything. So yeah, Darth Cliff said Pirate King Hondo counters. To the best of my knowledge, Slacker is reliable if you have the First Order Special Forces Crom. Take Dre. My advice is don't use Dre's Lightning until it's basically just Pirate King Hondo left. Use her middle. That will get more ultimate charge for Slacker. It's not going to trigger the equalization from Bane, at least in a way that's going to restore them. So, yeah, I would say, Slacker, Dre, First Order Special Forces, Hux, and then I prefer Faust because I like crew to go with my Cere team. You can run it with crew if you're doing something else, Cere. That's okay. Otherwise, I have heard of Cere Malicos being a potential counter. I haven't seen it. Somebody in the chat might be able to share more. Last season, people were taking down Pirate King Hondo with full CLS, classic CLS team, CLS Han Chewie, 2PO, C3PO, using the Rolocron. I don't know how reliable it is because depending on what happens, like if you don't immediately kill OG Hondo, he locks somebody down, I think that's curtains. So yeah. Hey, Lord Megatron, good to see you. Heratran, now that you've read the update info, what's your outlook on the future of the game? I asked this when we voice chatted the other day, but it was middle of a Helldivers game, so you didn't get to go in depth with it. Yeah, we actually talked about this at some length in the last stream when I wrapped up, when I had already wrapped up the Grand Arena portion. So if you haven't seen that, that is time-stamped out, so you can go check that commentary. But the bottom line is, there are a couple things that I'll be keeping an eye on as a concern, but overwhelmingly, I'm positive about the changes. I like what I'm seeing. I think that it's definitely helping free to play and low spend, which I like. Relic Delta is finalized, and it doesn't. Now, you might say, oh, this is easy for Tass to say, having so many Relic 9s and stuff already, and I hear that, but I really think I'm being honest here when I'm saying I remember being smaller, fighting the guys who had a couple Relics of Gap on me. I remember those years. You can see the VODs for them on my YouTube channel. But I would say that if I had to deal with Relic Delta at that time, it would be a challenge, but it's something that You could say that you were facing scale issues like that if you were fighting people who had way better datacrons than you. It's just a different challenge, and it honestly would help you give more focus to who you want to take up. Not just an individual character for relics, but thinking about the whole team. Do you want to take that whole team up to a minimum floor of Relic 7, Relic 8? And if you're here at the very high end, which teams first do you take entirely to Relic 9? So on. Share the min-maxing info for the Coliseum when you test it. Yeah, so that's the thing. That is one of the concerns I actually have, is that Coliseum ends up getting solved super quickly like raids do, and then that just means that we're all running the same teams, getting more or less the same score, and then pushing for just those pennies more, the 1, 2, 3 extra. I hope it doesn't end up boiling down to that, but it could. Heratran says, I think Relic Delta will be a problem for the next 2 to 3 seasons for mid-game accounts, but after that, it won't be much of an issue if you know what you're doing. I agree. And they're opening up the tap on resources in the first place, and also removing requirements from higher-end relics as well. I think at least Relic 9. I don't know if they also lower requirements for pirate counters without crons. What you want to know about Swugga Player? What do you mean? Like, I have accounts at different levels, and the only problem I see is Relic Delta is TW for lower guilds. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying Relic Delta won't have an impact, but between the added resources, the reduced relic requirements, and I think the future is bright for low spend in particular. Free to play might struggle more, but low spend is very likely a sweet spot. Something like you're buying the Era Pass or the Conquest Pass in a month, and that's maybe enough. Anyways, as far as pirate counters without crons, I wouldn't know, man. Every team I'm gonna fight's gonna have crons. I couldn't say. Maybe somebody else in the chat can answer for you. Feel free to keep the questions coming, people. Just relaxing now. If you're just getting here, thank you for joining. We wrapped up the Grand Arena fight here against Arsenal. Again, shout out to Arsenal. Always a pleasure to play you. Been a while. Good to see you again. And yeah, he posted a 1762. I got a couple drops on ground and then one drop on fleet. I was clean here on his ground. I mean, some of these banners were questionable on a few of the fights, like 54, 57, something like that. But no actual drops, right? And then one drop on fleet. That's how we got to the 1794 to 17. Tormento says, from the new batch of characters, which one are you more hyped on? Yes, this is frequently asked these days, excluding Spider-Maw. Okay. And why is the answer Vader? Vader I do like because I don't want to see EP Mara Jade become disused entirely. Like, without Starkiller, surely you would have no reason to really look their way. The Starkiller, once the Stranger comes out, is, I think, meant to be tied to the Stranger. That being said, though, this is what I said in just the last stream. I really like IG-90 because Aphra's viability on defense is first about what you can do to stop her from getting outright bursted from something like CLS, which is usually solved with Datacrons, depending on the Datacron meta. But then there's always the issue that she doesn't have a tank. If you're setting her on defense, you know that you're trying to force an unpleasant priority for which they have to take out a variety of threats because you can't actually offer them a tank. Now we're talking about some more consistent, at least that's my hope, more consistent defensive viability. That's what I'm thinking. All right. Rioric says, Tass, what do you think of Mace in Grand Arena? Is he any good? What tier would you place him? A tier, B tier? So, I'm assuming you're meaning Jedi Master Mace. What you should think about Jedi Master Mace is that there's mechanics by which you can ignore taunt, you can AoE cleanse your team, you can AoE dispel the enemy team, and crucially, you also have permakill built into the leadership. So when things die, they just stay down. And yeah, there's a couple other teams that have that baked in, but it's not that common of an effect. So that's the way I would urge you to think about it is, I know this isn't an easy answer, but just the things I listed off is just from getting familiar with some of the kit abilities, the core parts of this team. And when you think about it in terms of those key defining specials and what they're doing under the leadership, you can think of wide applications. So Jedi Master Mace, I mean, I see a bunch of streamers, including Fatal, use Jedi Master Mace to take out a whole bunch of stuff. Because the fact is, the current GAC meta, people are not placing super high teams. So if you're asking me if I know about any really great punch-ups with Jedi Master Mace, I personally don't. Because the teams that I'm seeing Fatal shut down with it are... The achievement here is him doing it with full ban, right? That's kind of the thing to go for. But the teams that I think he's fighting with that aren't meant to be thought of as punch-up. I would say in terms of you asking him as an A tier, B tier, C tier, like I would think A tier is going to be Galactic Legend or Galactic Legend adjacent. I compete with Galactic Legend tier teams. So certainly not A. I would say B. B is fair. Because there's still a good bit you can do. You know, one of the big reasons why we think about saving Traya is permakill. Isolate is frequently part of what makes it so attractive and whatever else in the team's mechanic. But we're frequently thinking about, are there teams for which I might need a permakill? And even if you don't end up needing, like, think of it like this. If you find good uses, use JMM to fight other B tier teams, maybe even C tier teams. If any of those teams were the type of thing that you would use Traya, then now you've kind of just freed up Traya for either offense or defense. And that should be something you think about with respect to whether or not your opponents have Maz and what they like to do with their Maz. Big topic. All right, Heratran says, I really hope Stormtrooper Luke under Leia is somehow better than Adrad and Jin, so we can use Leia and Rogue One in 5 vs 5 without taking from each other. Do you really find that you have the board space to really think about setting Rogue One? And if you're talking about using Rogue One, are there really that many teams that your opponents are setting that Rogue One would be a dunk on? My guess is we still have way too many teams, especially here in 5 vs. Yeah, maybe the R2 and Old Ben synergy makes up for the Immortal Jin. Maybe. I can see it. Yeah, okay, for their Datacron. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I'm open to it. I want all those characters that they highlighted to be significant. The Darth Vader's going to be a... What's their term for it? Some special type of marquee. It's going to be like a Great Mother's tier character. Big deal. Okay. Yeah, Elite Marquee. Yeah, there you go. Cere. All right, guys. Anything else on your mind? Otherwise, if there's other streamers going and you guys are starting to file out, I will send you to somebody to away from that grand arena. Who's live? Oh, Ranger's live. I mean, we can always raid into Ranger. There's also Nooch. Nooch has raided into us a couple times. Got guests over there on Jedi Academy? Yeah, we can go see Ranger, I think. Let's see. Any last questions, though, in the chat, guys? Otherwise, yeah. If you got here during the chat portion of the show, I did do the whole review on my attacks and everything a little earlier in the VOD, so check that out if you may. All right. I think we're going to get ready to start winding up then. First of all, if you want to be in touch, you want to find out exactly when I'm going to go live, you got questions, you want to find out when my YouTube pings are going out for videos I release, all that kind of good stuff, all connected through my Discord. There's the link for it. See, that publishes both YouTube and Twitch. There we go. Maybe, oh, there. Yeah, it just hit late. Nice. All right. Aside from that, of course, you're watching me live here, then you already know I'm at twitch.tv/Tassenix. I also simulcast from my YouTube channel, Tassenix Gaming, where if you're a Swugga fan and you haven't been there before, check it out. A lot of good stuff I think you might be interested in, especially as a Grand Arena player, if you're a fan. Stuff like the aforementioned how-to mod series, teaching the basics, fundamentals of building up a good mod inventory, all the way up to advanced topics by the time you get to how to mod chapter 3. There is stuff like the mod guides on individual characters and factions that you have requested. I'm starting something good in the coming days. I've had a pretty busy week here, and I want to give it my attention, but we're starting the next leg of the mod guide series. Also, things like the GAC Omicron tier list video is also a rebroadcasting point for my Grand Arena focused podcast, Plotting and Scheming, that I make with my friends Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal, where we break down our last week in the thereabouts of the top 100 of Kyber 1. We talk about the meta matchups, how we dealt with them, our favorite attacks and defenses that we saw, our lessons learned for the week to come, and anything else that we think is worth sharing with you. That show is native to Spotify, but wherever you catch an episode, check the description. There is a link that you can use to plug it into your preferred podcast program and follow us that way. Anything that you enjoyed over there on the YouTube channel, I very much appreciate your like. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. The follows on Twitch are also likewise very much appreciated. That is the best way to support my channel. Thank you all so much. And if you really want to go above and beyond, you just love what I'm doing over here and you want to support the channel further, there are a few ways. I do have a Cash App that is $Tassenix. That I have a PayPal, which is tassenix@gmail.com. And if you want some enhanced scouting power of your own for Grand Arena, early access to some of my content, and a couple other benefits besides, you might be interested in checking out my Patreon, patreon.com/Tassenix. For any upwardly mobile, oops, that's the wrong slide to start with here. We'll get back to that slide in a minute. But for any upwardly mobile Grand Arena player, there is something there of interest for you. At $5 a month, you enter the Task House at the VIP access level, where you get early access to the Plotting and Scheming show. That is coming out to our general audience Friday mornings at 8 a.m., but patrons can expect it as early as Monday night, giving you advance notice on the start of the week, the opportunity to shape your strategies going into that first round. So there's that. I also will occasionally make patron exclusive videos. You'll have at least a month of exclusivity over the public on that. And of course, a dedicated text and voice chat on Discord, where I am generally lurking, so pop on in and say hi. Thank you so much to Andrew, Banja, Boba Iza, Deadpool Kyle 28, JJ's Productions Twitch, Jobin4527, Miasmal, Mus Ross, Raise Malbus, Sam Vimes, Sheepdog47, Squed, Stark Strategy Gamer, Squeens14, and White Wolf. Moving on up to the $10 a month tier is VIP Access Plus, where you get a bundled Patreon access to me and to your choice of either OmegaBot or Hot Utils Patreon. OmegaBot's that tool that I highlight at the start of all my Grand Arena streams. It's giving you those graphs that illustrate your opponent's offensive and defensive tendencies. Anybody can use that tool for free to scout their opponent's last week of Grand Arena history, but only patrons can build out a custom report with any number of weeks. You get a downloadable HTML version of the report with links that you can click, going right back into swugga.gg and Insight with data pre-sorted, so it just helps you further minimize your scout and drill down on those questions you're looking for. Alternatively, you may go for the Hot Utils Patreon, aka Chili subscription, which is the #1 tool for mass mod management and loadout creation. Nothing else lets you switch so effortlessly between your Grand Arena, TB, TW, raid mods. You can, automate. You can remod your roster with the powerful automation feature like TJ and Fatal like to do. You just set up a configuration, run this tool. It will literally remod your roster and optimize it as best as it can to the specs that you give for the characters. Super powerful stuff. You can, slice through hundreds of mods in seconds, help out your guild and TW, so much more. No wrong way to go at VIP Access Plus. Thank you so much to Aussie Mike, Darth Leia, Esh Sotnikam, JJ's Dad, Frick Frack Pattywhack, Mr. Tony, Shake23501, Single Malt Jedi. Snack Attack is somewhere twice. I guess Snack Attack is there just once. All right. Snack Attack, Striker, Supermard, Troublefingers, and Zoltre. At VIP Access Premium, that's $15 a month for the Double Bot bundle. So Patreon access for me, OmegaBot, and Hot Utils all under one subscription. Just going out and subscribing to those bots any other way, anywhere else, costs the same as this bundle, which is why so many of my patrons say it's one of the best values in all of Swugga. Thank you so much to Argots, Arj, Bjorn, Big Ninja, Alidus Invictus, Depressed Wampa, Duckstab, Darth Link, General Milan, Ibenek, Johnny B. Ottawa, Kev, Mini GK, Hills, Wig, Raleigh, Saldag, Sir Boss, Sophus, Sprizzle, The Lost Womprat, Trevor Boy Gaming, and Wilco. And at the top of the list here, in Jester's Club Elite, the #1 man, Nomad's Reaper. This guy pops in from time to time and just drops hundreds of subs, thousands of biddies, incredibly generous support, setting Hype Train records many times over the years. Thank you so much, man. Coming in hot on his heels, though, here is Pills, who has, as of late, made an amazing habit and show out of appearing anytime just during my streams, but especially like late in the stream, even when I'm wrapping up. And he'll just pop in out of nowhere, start dropping subs on the community, 10 here, 20 here. Sometimes he goes like into the hundreds. It's insane. Thank you so much for the very generous support, man. Thank you. And the community really appreciates it. Special thanks, first up, to the Lost Womp Rat, one of my patrons who went above and beyond the Call of Duty some time ago, helping me set up my stream deck. It helps me keep things smooth behind the scenes, doing what I love doing here with you guys, so thank you so much for your help there, Womp. To Mrs. T, my wife, thank you for all you do in the background, whether, it's bringing me something to drink, something to eat while I'm having a long stream, plugging it out, or just keeping our daughter from tearing the house apart while I'm trying to be the very best, like no one ever was, at a phone game. And of course, to my co-hosts on Plotting and Scheming, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. As always, gentlemen, thank you for making yourselves available on a weekly basis for our show, despite the demands of work and family. You guys appear, and we get the recording done. I learn from you every episode. Hopefully the feeling is occasionally mutual, but it's not about us. It's about the community that popped up around our show. It almost never does a day go by that I don't get some type of comment, some type of DM telling us that something that people heard from our show helped them win their Grand Arena. And that is what it is all about. I'm sure you gentlemen agree. So thank you again, and I wouldn't change a thing. All right, let's return back to the main scene and answer anybody else who spoke. Eritran, are you planning on doing Plotting and Scheming live at the end of the season again? I did like doing it. That the other guys enjoyed it as well. I believe it's a lock. I think we will do that. It also kind of makes sense, right? Because, you relate to whatever intelligence there is that we gained out of that last week when you've just finished that week up. You're going to lose touch with it over the next 5 versus 5. Not to say that either way, when you come back around to the next 3 versus 3, if you wanted to refamiliarize yourself, that bot is still going to be there. But yes, I think we will do that live. All right. Calidus says, yeah, you highly recommend my Patreon. Thank you, man. For anyone looking to step up their game, easily grew about 200 to 300 skill rating into Kyber 1 because of these great weirdos. Yes, our Patreon community has some unique individuals, that is for sure, but generally pretty avid Grand Arena fan. All right, guys, let's make ready to send you on out the door. Over on YouTube, who's live? Heroes, nobody is live, so sorry to do this to you two people. Doesn't look like there's anybody alive for Swugger right now. I'm going to have to drop you into the abyss, but thank you all for tuning in, and see you next episode, which is probably tomorrow night, starting around 9 p.m. Eastern. Exact details to go out on the Discord. Where was that button? Oh yeah, no, I have no one to send you to. Cut off when I cut off the pitch. All right, rating out. We'll send you guys to Ranger here, who's having a discussion with somebody that I can't quite clearly see in the image, but starting up the raid. And yeah, like I just said, probably 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for round 3. I will announce exact time on my Discord. Thank you all for joining me today, and it was a really fun match. Again, thanks to Arsenal for another good fight, and until next time, it's been real, it's been awesome, it's been real awesome. Take care.